And here it is, my latest addition to my Ninjago city layout. This MOC here in the center that I'm zooming into is the latest 32 by 16 plate that I've added to the city. This connects Ninjago Gardens with the MOC that I did earlier this year. And so what I wanted to do with this one is create an open bridge space and essentially an entry into the harbor of the larger layout. So there's a swing bridge so that I can have different sort of poses or scenes created. Two little lanterns welcoming people into the harbor. I've utilized the printed tile, the koi fish from Spring Lantern Festival. And then when I swing around to the back, I'll show a little bit more how I connected the look to gardens, but trying to pull in the white here, and here's the start of the new plate. And then on the right-hand side, this has a story behind it of a sort of burned out sushi restaurant that was eventually relocated up here to the top of Ninjago City. But carrying that around to the side, and then I just kind of threw up an extra scroll of forbidden spinjitzu here on the top. So the first level is really just trying to keep that open and just try a few different construction techniques with those swing bridges. And then pulling up to the walkway, it's completely connecting all of the MOCs across the board and adding two new type of railings to really connect the one MOC to the other from a style perspective, and that large billboard so I could utilize more of the signs that are available in city and gardens. Into a little billboard kiosk, and we got Clutch Powers there overseeing things. And then a new railing detail here with some sticker pieces that were part of a original Ninjago set that I had. And then this front facade, as we swing around back, it's sort of a kind of a mystical kind of just residence. I didn't really plan for it to be something specific, except maybe something nefarious is going on, because you see the snake head on the chain pulley, which would activate those awnings, and then using a cheese wedge tile technique on the bottom with some grading. And then going up to the top, with the Ray and the Dragon set, they had those adorable three little monkey creatures, and I wanted to pull those in into this MOC specifically with this banana tree, sort of a rooftop kind of abandoned area that the animals had just sort of taken over and made their home. It was also an attempt to connect visually gardens, which has a large tree, the large foliage, and then tie that in, because it's so colorful, and tie that in across to city where the colors are much more muted. So it made sense transitionally from a color perspective. And then with the open area, the Ninja Clubhouse up here with Cole, it kind of provided that overlook into the banana tree. And then sort of using the bonsai technique with just the loose flat 1x1 studs in the center with some vines growing out to keep that natural. And then this is the Raya and the Dragon printed map tile, which it's beautiful, so I just felt I wanted to include that. So let's pull that out, if I can, ever so carefully. And the way the sign was constructed, as you can see, it's just clipped onto the one side because I don't want to keep the modulars firmly connected because there's stress points in the builds, and it's just easier if I move things around just to have it connected on that one side. As I pull it around, and we'll look at the detail, and then I'll connect it all up to the other sets. We've got the reverse side. Again, just another view of the top level. And those guys are just, the expressions on those guys' faces are so great. Using again from Ray and the Dragon, this printed tile actually is coming from the Thor mech. I got these two stickers from the Thor mech as well. So kind of pulling that all together into this little sort of mystical shop that's currently closed. And then here on the left, I've reutilized a sticker piece from an extra set I had from the Ninjago Tournament of Elements. Makes a nice poster display. The Ninjago tiles, or sorry, the video tiles and a Ninjago sticker here. Pulling in those billboard details, which I've used in other Ninjago City MOCs. There's just so many stickers and visual elements of the city, of the Lego builds. It just really, these tiles really work well to pull in that kind of chaos of the city. And then we look down here at the lower level, and we'll talk more about when I connect it to gardens and what I was thinking, but this little sort of alarm bell here, noting when people are coming into the harbor. That's Thanos' helmet, constructed with several little small pieces. And then I pulled in that Ninjago poster from the theme park set, the Legoland theme park set, just a little bit of a nod. It's hard to see when it's all together, so I just like that little hidden feature. And then as I turn it around to the side, we have more of the burnout Chinese restaurant, and I'll talk a little bit more about that. And then this vine work kind of growing up the side, and then this another water spout on the fountain. And I've used 2 rock pieces that are from the classic Ninja theme that appear in quite a few of those sets. I have extra of those that I got on Bricklink, and I really have been wanting to use them in a Ninjago City MOC. So covering the top, let's turn everything around and see how it looks from the back with City and Gardens. A couple other building notes. So the drawbridge here is built simply with a clip and hinge plate. It was just a matter of getting enough clearance and keeping that space open so that I could get the maximum height out of each one. And then I will say, because this whole build is built on literally one stud on each side on the left, it kept collapsing. I do have Technic pins that can hold the sections together. But I was actually building the top instead of taking it off and building it, and so this kept falling apart. And you can see I put additional arches and supports to try to make that a little bit stronger. You can see the back of the bell with transparent bricks that are holding up Thanos' helmet. And then on the side, you see more of those arches to provide a little bit more stability to the platform that's in the upper level. But the view from here into the harbor is exactly what I was looking for. Okay, here we go. Here's the reverse side. I'll point out a couple things. One is on City, which I posted before, but I have the jelly sub sort of floating in space. The back of Ninjago City is very dull compared to what they did in docks and then carried through in gardens and what I've done with my MOCs. So anchoring this right off of this point here looks great, and you have the jelly chains kind of coming down into the city with another shark mech for the Ninjago movie. This is that existing MOC. I did redo some of the water tile work. I have more pieces to do more gray. I was using light gray and dark gray. Added the little mouse. And for people who don't know, the story behind this is that this is an old, abandoned, burned out sushi restaurant where the sushi chef started his business until he moved up to the top of Ninjago City, and now that's just abandoned. There's still a little shrimp crate right here. That's from Raya. Again, some great pieces in that set. You can see a little bit better view of the little bird snacking on a donut here, kind of hiding in the gardens. And then just kind of recapping my older MOC, this is sort of Nia's city kind of apartment. Water feature built into this. It actually is a working well that exits water to the other side of the build. And that's leaking, and that's ultimately what's causing this entire vine work down the side of the build. So it's really was trying to connect both of those, not just from that baseline 4 perspective, but thinking about, okay, how did this connect through the traveling of the water down the realm, building out these weeds and gardens for sort of an unkempt area. So then you do have the open space here, which is great. You know, I like a lot of space to pose and place minifigures. There's just so many. I've used that cheese wedge, again, design here on the front, but I kept it simple because it just lines up with the levels of gardens, and I used the same style of railing across the back, so it aligns and those steps go up to that platform. And then on the second floor, the railing just ends at the roof line of gardens, and that's how that connects. And just here's a view again of that tree, and up here we've got the Johnny Thunder poster and Johnny's kind of hanging out at the top of gardens. So the other main connection point down here was, of course, you have the banana leaves up here, so I wanted to sort of carry that down here as if one had fallen and another banana tree was starting to grow. And then you have the little shop here in gardens, and so I wanted to keep that open and carry that through to the open kind of area overlooking that harbor area. Added a little baguette, and there's the teapot, so that looks all connected fully. And then the water comes out, and then we'll pull that back. And that includes the latest 16 by 32 edition. I've got 2 more in the works, and we'll probably start those sometime in the next year. Thank you for watching.